Picture this. A lady walks into the room like she knows it all. Smirking, speaking loud, demanding attention. To the untrained eye, she looks powerful, maybe even admirable. But watch closely. Behind the attitude, the confidence, the boldness, is a ticking time bomb. She's not smart. She's not wise. She's self-sabotaging. And the scariest part? She doesn't even know it. There's a kind of woman out there. One who's convinced she's 3 steps ahead of everyone else. She thinks her charm is a weapon. Her drama? Her games? Just how she gets what she wants. But truth be told, she's setting fire to everything around her. Her relationships, her chances at real happiness, even her future. And here's where it gets dangerous. If you can't recognize these signs, you might date her, befriend her, or worse, become her. So kindly listen carefully. Because in this video, I'm revealing the 6 silent signs of a stupid woman. And they're not what you think. These aren't about looks or education. They're about mindset, behavior, choices. Sign number 3 is the one that ruins good men. And sign number 5? It guarantees loneliness no matter how beautiful or successful she is. If you want to protect your peace, your time, and your future, you need to know what to look out for. Let's begin. Sign number 1, she chases attention, not purpose. Let me tell you about Maya. You've probably seen a woman like her. She walks into a room and instantly scans it. Not to connect, but to measure. Who's watching her? Who's whispering about her? Who's staring long enough to feed her ego? On the outside, she's magnetic, confident, loud, captivating. But behind that curated persona is a woman who's starving for one thing: validation. And here's where it gets sad. She's convinced that being seen means being valued. She lives for the applause, but has no idea the crowd disappears the moment the show ends. Scroll through her feed and you'll see it. The selfies, the cryptic quotes, the not-so-subtle thirst traps labeled as empowerment. She'll call it confidence, but it's really a cry, a craving, for someone, anyone, to make her feel like she matters. But watch closely, because women like this are masters of disguise. She'll talk about energy, healing, and being high value. But the moment the spotlight dims, she spirals. Here's the brutal truth. Attention is easy. Value is earned. A truly valuable woman doesn't chase eyes, she commands presence. She doesn't need to prove she matters. She simply does. So when you meet a woman who treats likes, comments, or compliments like oxygen, it's not love she's after. It's a quick fix, a temporary high. That'll leave you drained and her still empty. And if you think that's bad, wait until you see sign number 2, where her need for control reveals just how chaotic she really is. Let's keep going. Sign number 2, she speaks without thinking. Let me paint you a scene. You're on a date. She looks amazing. The vibe seems promising. But 10 minutes in, you realize something strange. She hasn't stopped talking. Not once. And not about anything real. It's a whirlwind of gossip, unsolicited advice, arguments she swears she's winning, even when she's not sure what she's talking about. She's not trying to connect. She's trying to dominate. Because in her world, volume equals value. And the loudest voice must be the smartest one in the room. But here's what she doesn't get. Real intelligence doesn't shout. It listens. It observes. It waits. Wise women don't waste words. They speak with precision, like every sentence has weight. They don't interrupt to prove a point. They pause to make one land. But this woman? She throws words around like confetti, messy, noisy, and meaningless. She argues not to learn, but to win. She gives advice she doesn't live by. She debates topics she barely understands. All to feel smart, even if she's just echoing someone else's opinion. Here's the truth. The woman who talks more than she thinks, she never grows. Because her mouth moves faster than her mind ever can. And if you're still with me, just wait till you hear sign number 3, where her obsession with control reveals a truth she's terrified to admit. Let's keep going. Sign number 3, she can't control herself. You ever watch someone sabotage their own life in real time? Meet her, the woman who knows better, but never does better. She tells herself she's going to save money, then maxes out her card on things she doesn't need to impress people she doesn't even like. She swears she's done with that toxic guy, but the moment he texts, "I miss you," she's right back in his arms, and right back into heartbreak. It's not that she doesn't know the right thing to do. She just doesn't have the strength to do it. Her life is a pattern. Impulse, regret, repeat. She chases comfort over growth, pleasure over progress, emotion over logic. And every time it costs her money, her peace, her future. She'll cry about her situation, swear she's learning, post quotes about self-love, but next week, she's back in the same cycle. New shoes, same overdraft. New guy, same heartbreak. Here's what she doesn't understand. Freedom isn't doing whatever you feel. Freedom is having the discipline to walk away. A wise woman knows how to say no to the things that feel good but leave her empty. A foolish one? She keeps saying yes, even when it's ruining her. And if that sounds bad, wait until sign number 4, where we uncover how she masks insecurity with fake independence. Let's keep going. Sign number 4, she has poor taste in friends. You want to know who she really is? Don't look at her Instagram bio. Don't listen to what she says she wants. Look at her circle, her friends. That's where the truth lives. She's always surrounded by chaos. The loud one who lives for gossip. The fake spiritual one who masks toxicity as truth. The party girl who's chasing dopamine, not direction. Why does she keep them around? Because they validate her worst choices. They never challenge her. Never hold her accountable. Never tell her, "Hey, you're messing up." She doesn't want growth. She wants comfort. She doesn't want mirrors. She wants cheerleaders, even if she's running straight off a cliff. And here's the kicker. She knows deep down these friendships aren't real. She knows they talk behind her back, envy her, enable her. But she'd rather be accepted by the wrong crowd than stand alone in the truth. Because to her, comfort feels safer than change. But that comfort? It's a prison with no bars. Just bad advice, fake smiles, and constant drama. A wise woman? She builds her circle like a legacy. People who call her out, pull her up, and push her forward, even when it stings. But a foolish woman? She surrounds herself with noise and wonders why she never hears her own voice. And trust me, sign number 5 takes it even deeper. Because it's not just who she surrounds herself with, it's how she treats people who love her. Let's keep going. Sign number 5, she always plays the victim. Let me tell you about Tasha. She had a pattern. Every job ended with, "They were jealous of me." Every breakup? He was toxic. Every failure? Someone else sabotaged it. Never once did she say, "Maybe it was me." She wore her pain like a crown. Because being the victim meant she never had to grow. Never had to change. Never had to face the woman in the mirror. This is the trap of the foolish woman. When life doesn't go her way, she points fingers instead of asking questions. She's broke? The system is rigged. She's single? Men are trash. She's failing? They were holding me back. And the saddest part? She actually believes it. She can recite every wrong done to her. But she can't name one lesson she's learned. Because accountability? That's too heavy for her. Owning her part in the chaos would mean dropping the victim mask. And for her, that mask is all she has left. A wise woman knows better. She sees pain as a teacher, not a prison. She owns her choices, her patterns, her mess-ups. And that's why she evolves. But the woman who refuses to take responsibility? She stays stuck in the same story. A new face, a new year, but the same ending every time. And if you think that keeps her from love, just wait until sign number 6, where we break down how her obsession with independence is really just fear in disguise. Let's finish strong. Sign number 6, she keeps making the same mistakes. I knew a girl named Lena. Beautiful, bright, full of potential. But she had one fatal flaw. She kept dating the same kind of man. Different faces, same disaster. She'd cry, heal, promise she'd never do it again, and then walk straight back into the fire. It wasn't bad luck. It wasn't fate. It was her inability to learn. Because the biggest sign of a foolish woman? She repeats her pain like a song stuck on loop. She trusts the same lies, falls for the same traps, chooses pleasure over peace even when she knows where it leads. A wise woman? She stumbles, yes, but she studies the fall. She grows from it. She transforms her wounds into wisdom. But this woman? She keeps rewriting the same chapter, hoping the ending will magically change. Spoiler, it won't. She doesn't evolve, she recycles. Old habits, old patterns, old heartbreaks, and that's why she stays bitter, broken, and blind to her own potential. Here's the truth. Pain is a teacher, but only if you're willing to listen. And the woman who never learns? She's not just stuck. She's sinking. Slowly. Silently. Tragically. So if you see these 6 signs in someone, or in yourself, it's time to wake up. Not tomorrow. No. Because repeating mistakes doesn't make you a victim. It makes you responsible. And growth only happens when you finally decide. Enough is enough. Now you know. The difference between a wise woman and a foolish one isn't about how much she knows, talks, or how much attention she gets. It's about how she chooses to live. A wise woman has discipline, owns her mistakes, surrounds herself with the right people, and values substance over spotlight. A foolish woman? She does the opposite. Here's the truth. Wisdom is a choice, so choose wisely. If this video made you think even for a second, hit that like button. This kind of content isn't for everyone, it's for those ready to grow. And if that's you, don't forget to subscribe.